All right, let's talk NFL draft, okay? We got to discuss it. The NFL draft is pretty much here, and I want to go through the top 5, okay? Last top 5s I've been seeing basically, I don't think there's any debate. It's Bryce Young at 1. Okay? Bryce Young is just flat out incredible. All right? We talked about it in the draft preview. He's got the poise, he's got the accuracy, and everybody sees it. He's just top tier better than everybody else in this class. And I think everybody's finally realizing that. And that's why he's going 1. I don't think the Panthers are going to pick anybody else. And I am very much in on Bryce Young going 1. All right, let's look at 2. Okay. And 2 is where the draft for a lot of people really begins. And I'm looking at it like the past few times I've been looking at it, I was listening to Tom McShay, and he's saying they're not really looking quarterback. A lot of reports have come in and apparently they like Will Levis, apparently they like Richardson. They don't love Stroud, which is kind of surprising. It, just the up and down we've seen from Stroud is incredible. It's crazy. I still have Stroud as my number 2. I love CJ Stroud. He's a fantastic thrower, great accuracy, great body. I don't think Houston's going to draft him. I think Houston, if they stay at 2, they will go defense. And I think that's going to end up with Will Anderson at 2, which isn't great if you're a Lions fan, because that means your edge rusher's gone. And basically, who I want as a Lions fan is Jalen Carter. And it's difficult if Will Anderson's gone. So I got Will Anderson going number 2. It's going to be very interesting to see. I'm really excited to see what Houston has planned at 2. Maybe they go trade for someone crazy. I've heard a lot of talk about Trey Lance, maybe a trade for Trey Lance, and maybe that involves the number 2 pick. I don't know. But if the 49ers get the number 2 pick, do they pick quarterback? Like, you got Brock Purdy, right? He's flat out incredible. And if you're trading Trey Lance, then I don't know. There's a lot of talk about this number 2 pick. And the more and more I'm thinking about it, and the more and more I see the Texans not liking CJ Stroud, I'm thinking they're going to go Will Anderson at 2, which to me isn't a bad pick. Will Anderson, unbelievable defender, unbelievable edge rusher. I've also heard a lot of Tyree Wilson talk at 2, which would be flat out insane. But I got Will Anderson at 2. So going to the 3rd overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals. If they stay at 3, I think they'd be wanting a guy like Will Anderson or a guy like Jalen Carter, someone defensive that can really help them there, because they don't need quarterback. But I feel like they're going to trade it. And I don't know who they're going to trade it with. In this in this version, I'm going to have the Titans trade up for it, because the Titans have been really the ones looking at it. I've been talking to a lot of people about NFL draft stuff, and the Titans are the name to look out for when moving up for a quarterback. So I am going to have the predict at least that the Titans will trade up, and I'm going to have them trading up for CJ Stroud. Okay. And they're going to pick Stroud. And that's a really good fit to me, to be honest. Like, CJ Stroud is just flat out unbelievable. And I think with Mike Vrabel, they could have an incredible pace and incredible way of offense. Just getting Stroud in as slowly and surely as possible. If you keep Derrick Henry, still run the offense through Henry your first year, you can win a few games, get Stroud some experience, and then Stroud just becomes dangerous, flat out dangerous. So I think if you are the Tennessee Titans, you got to trade up for 3, especially if Stroud's still there. And I feel like if you're the Cardinals, you're hoping that at 2, Houston does not pick Stroud, because then your ability to trade that pick, you can get a lot more for the pick now if Stroud's available, because there are some teams that flat out love CJ Stroud. So if I'm the Cardinals, I'm really hoping Houston goes off of quarterback, picks Will Anderson, and then hopefully you can trade it to a team like the Tennessee Titans, and the Titans go get Stroud. So if the Titans do that at 3, then we're left with the Colts at 4. And I have the Colts sticking strong, and they're going to pick Anthony Richardson here. I'm all in on the Colts picking Richardson. I think they're going to be a team that's very cautious throughout the regular season is able to kind of slowly bring him along, slowly show him the playbook and have him just become better throughout the season. I think they're going to be very good at that, just slowly bringing him along. That's all they're going to need with Anthony Richardson, because a lot of the complicated stuff he just doesn't understand yet. And he's got all the talent in the world. All of the talent in the world. We talked about it on the NFL draft thing. He has probably the most potential of any quarterback. He has the highest ceiling, but he's got a lot to learn. And if you're the Colts and you're drafting him, you might start him, you might not. It really depends what you're thinking there, and it depends on some offseason moves and who they're looking at quarterback. So if I were them, I'd pick Anthony Richardson and take it very slow. So now moving to 5, we got the Seattle Seahawks, and they are going to pick Jalen Carter. That's just what's going to happen. They're going to get D tackle, and they're going to pick Jalen Carter, and Lions fans are going to be like, ugh. It just is what it is. It is what it is. Jalen Carter is flat out unbelievable, and that's what the Seahawks need. They need a defensive tackle that can go out and make plays. And Jalen Carter is going to do that for you. He's going to flat out do that. He's going to be flat out sensational. I'm very excited about Jalen Carter. I want the Lions to draft him so much. But if the draft goes like this and the Texans don't pick quarterback and quarterbacks don't go and Will Anderson's not there for the Seahawks to pick, they're going to pick Jalen Carter. It's just what's going to happen. So it's tough for Lions fans. That's who I want. That is who I want. But I think Jalen Carter would go at that 5 spot. So now looking at the Lions at 6, this is going to be the last pick I do. I say you go Tyree Wilson. Okay? You go with the edge rusher. It doesn't matter that we picked edge last year and Aiden Hutchinson. I say you go with Tyree Wilson. He's got the highest upside, and he's very good. Even the Texans love him, and they might consider even picking him at 2, which would be flat out incredible. So I say you go with it. I like Tyree Wilson a lot. I don't love him. I like Will Anderson and Jalen Carter a lot more. Aaron really hyped me up on Tyree Wilson, showing me like what he did during the regular season. He's a lot better than I expected. So if I'm the Lions, you got to draft him there. But I'm really thinking that they might just go Devin Witherspoon. And I don't like that. I don't like that. It's just like Okudah, man. We picked Okudah 3rd overall, and it didn't work. And we traded Okudah now for a 6th-round pick. I just don't think we need more corner depth. I just don't. We did a great job in the offseason securing that depth. And I just don't want to pick 6 at corner. I just don't. But I feel like the Lions might do it. I feel like they're going to pick Devin Witherspoon. I hope they pick Tyree Wilson if Tyree Wilson is still available.